Sit down, because while you listen to my story, you'd better be seated. Do you think you've been in a creepy situation in your life? I'll tell you what happened once my friends and I went into the woods. Good God, I've got the creeps just saying the word woods. I am Jacob, and this is my most horrifying experience. It all started like a classic horror movie, and we were even joking about it. I was a teenager and lived in a very small town surrounded by woods. Of course, my friends and me were absolutely familiar with the forest close to our neighborhood, as we had visited it a million times since we were toddlers. One of us had his 16th birthday in June, and we decided to celebrate it camping overnight in the forest on our own, without the adults. It was not scary at all, as we knew the place we were going to perfectly. So after a day's walk in the woods, the 5 of us, 3 boys and 2 girls, set our tents at a nice clearing, cooked something, and then were just sitting around the fire chatting. It was very dark already, and to make things more thrilling, one of us decided to tell everyone a creepy story. He told us about a group of young people who went to the woods overnight, and strange things started happening, and they find out that they were stalked by a malicious witch. Wait, bro. Are you retelling us the script of the Blair Witch Project? Come on, we've all seen it. We were laughing a lot at him, as he didn't manage to scare us at all. But we decided not to go on with scary stories, as it was already late and it was time to go to sleep. I woke up because of the strange sound coming from outside. Did it seem like a nursery counting out rhyme told by some girl? I looked at the watch and snorted. It was 3 a.m. Why should my friends be awake at this time of night? Pretty irritated, I looked out of the tent to see that all the guys were looking out from their tents as well, including the girls, and the rhyme was still sounding from the forest not far from us. Hip dip doo, the cat's got the flu, the dog's got the chicken pox, so out goes you. I felt the goosebumps rising through my back towards my hair. What the hell was that? We gathered around the fireplace again, all close and united, while we were listening to that horrible voice moving away from us. We were no heroes of teenage horror, so we didn't have the slightest desire to go to the forest to explore. We thought maybe it was someone's prank, as many people knew where we were going. But it was a strange prank if so. In the darkness without a torch to sing nursery rhymes. We didn't get any sleep till dawn. At the sunrise, we decided that it was enough of fresh air for us, and that we wanted home. We were packing up, as one of the guys said, "Look at this tree, Jesus!" He was pointing at a tree nearby. Carved on its trunk, there was a huge cross. No one seemed to remember it from the previous day. We were very scared now, and tried to convince ourselves that it had been there. We just hadn't noticed it. Anyway, we felt an urge to go home, because we felt there was something strange going on in that forest. So we rushed from the clearing to the path we knew so well that would bring us home. After half an hour's walk, one of the girls said, "Guys, I have no idea where we are, do you?" Problem is, no one of us had. We were just all sure that all the others recognized the path. The phones didn't have the connection there either. We got lost in a forest we knew on a path we had taken the day before. We lost our spirits and started arguing on what direction to take next, when one of the guys said, "Look, there's another cross on a tree." And there it was, freshly carved. Good Lord, we all screamed and ran away from that place without even considering the path. We were absolutely terrified, and the understanding that we were completely lost didn't help. After some time, we managed to calm down and started reasoning on what direction home was. We chose what was seemingly north and went there. We were walking and walking and walking, and the forest didn't seem to ever finish. Girls started sobbing, and us guys were close. We were supposed to return home at 3 p.m., and it was already close to 4. Our parents should have started to worry about where we were. Hopefully they would try to look for us. We were terrified by the thought that we would have to pass another night in that damned forest. It was close to 6 when we came to another clearing and thought we would take a break as we were very tired of endless walking. It was nearly sunset, and it was wise to remain there for another overnight, even if we dreaded the idea. We divided, looking for the best place for camping, when one of the girls called us in a trembling voice, "Guys, come here." She was pointing at a setting that made us all freeze. There were remains of a fireplace, a round, burnt-out spot, obviously fresh. Worst thing was that it was surrounded by small columns of stones put on one another, just small stone piles. And the closest tree was decorated by another cross. It looked more like some ritual place than a simple fireplace. This time, we screamed like in a good old B-movie and escaped without any direction, just as far away from that place as possible. The only thing we knew was that we needed to stick together to survive. We ran and ran, and it was the purest terror I had ever had. This time, we didn't manage to calm down and just ran ahead quickly without much thought and just exchanging brief phrases. When suddenly, nearly at the last ray of the day, I heard a familiar voice somewhere ahead of us. "Jacob, is that you?" God, at this point, I was about to faint of relief. It was my dad who came to look for us. He was startled to see us in that miserable condition as we fell out of the woods practically into his arms. As we explained what happened to us, he looked more and more puzzled. But how could you kids have gotten lost? We're now just a mile away from home. You should have been wandering in circles. When we returned home, we told everything to our parents. Everyone was surprised as they didn't recognize the places we were describing and never heard of anything strange at all happen in our woods. We now prefer not to talk about that walk, and it's the first time I'm actually telling this story to anyone in detail. And believe me, I haven't been in the woods since, and I'm not sure I will ever find courage to turn back there in close future.